Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the return of Apex Coliseum with the second boss for this current round, and it is Dazzler. So let's go ahead and take a look at the nodes and see what we're dealing with here. Now we have the three standard the Coliseum nodes. Do want to call out that the strikeout node there, that third one, is a little bit different than the original round of Alliance or of Solo Coliseum. So once you hit 5 health bars, you're going to want to make sure that you're hitting Dazzler with a striker or knocking Dazzler down with a heavy in order to clear that requirement. Otherwise, your character is going to get put to sleep and you will likely die. Now, a couple things in mind. You have the inside out node and the stay a while and listen node. So you want to make sure you're not staying too close to Dazzler for a very long period of time, because if you do, you get rooted, and while you're rooted, you're also special locked, so you cannot get out of the root, which is a rough chance to have you get faltered by Dazzler. So let's go into the fight and see some of the options that I have brought in so far today. I'm not fully done with my health bars, but I'm getting there. So first off, I want to show off Yondu. Now, I don't do particularly great with Yondu, but I was mostly just trying to get the video footage. I end up accidentally dying right when I'm getting to the point where I'm fully ramped and just about to get going. But I want to show off some of Yondu's strengths. So Yondu doesn't deal with the falter from Dazzler at all, so you want to watch out for that. But what they do have is whenever Dazzler is activating a special attack, Yondu is going to inflict Dazzler with a bunch of weakness debuffs, and that's going to be really effective for helping make sure you don't take a lot of damage. And then Dazzler is going to be throwing an awful lot of special attacks, so as the fight continues and progresses, eventually Yondu will get to throw the SP2, and you get a Fury passive for every single special that the opponent has thrown in the fight, up to 8 Fury passives, and that can make it so that Yondu is hitting really hard. So the combination of reducing Dazzler's attack a decent bit with those weakness debuffs, and then hitting really hard with those Fury passives, and it works really well. Additionally, as long as Dazzler's holding block, you can try to help create some spacing in this fight. By just hitting into that block, you're still at least inflicting some ruptures, and it works pretty well. So for the cadence of this fight, I primarily want to bait out the SP1s, dodge them, and then just go in and keep pushing Dazzler to SP1s. You want to evade the dazzling dash whenever she does it. If you have parried her when she does a dazzling dash, if you parry her again, you will receive a passive stun, but Dazzler will also be stunned. But if that parry cooldown is not on, then you are going to get passively stunned, and Dazzler is going to have a free opening to just wail on you for a little bit. So make sure you're watching out for that. It's a really important part of this fight. Don't accidentally mess up the SP1 decks there and get pushed to SP2, and then I have to evade the falter. No big deal. I'm going to throw my SP2 here and get the benefit of all of those Furies. See, I got 7 of them now. That is a big SP2 hit. Does almost 50% of a health bar just right there. And just start letting those ruptures tick. It's very effective. If you can avoid getting hit, unlike me later in this fight, then it goes really well. All in all, though, I don't find Dazzler to be a particularly dangerous defender for this round of solo Apex Coliseum, and have had a really fun time with it so far today. There we go, knocked her down with the heavy. You can punish that SP1 pretty easily. What I like to do is, as she starts doing it, I do 3 quick dashes back, and then she should end her SP1 with enough spacing for you to be able to get that heavy attack in. Now, there I ended up getting rooted because I was too close to her for too long of a period of time. Avoid the falter, and now let's go ahead and get those Furies. Coming to the tail end of this fight here, because like I said, I end up making some mistakes, and I just die. But you can see I've got the 8 Furies. If I had managed to not end up taking the hit here in just a little bit, it would continue going very well. And there we go. I accidentally mess up the dazzling dash, and she takes me out. All right, so let's go on to the next option. All right, now, so let's feature another champion that I used here for this fight, and it is my rank 4 6200 A1 Arcade. Now, Arcade doesn't have particular pieces in his kit that are deliberately going to be counting Dazzler, but what he does have is some pretty good damage, honestly. I mean, I do have, like mine is A1 and rank 4 Sig 200, but he does a pretty good job all in all. And the goal generally with Arcade is you want to get the opponent into the corner. You want to be trying to knock them down and get them stuck in that poison cloud and just try to stack on the debuffs as much as possible. So let's see how well that works for us here. Now, one thing that Arcade does have is the ability to auto block, which can occasionally, I mean, basically, as long as Arcade has some of those Arcade tokens, depending on how things are going in the fight, you can auto block various attacks. Let's see, if you have 10 Arcade tokens, you get an indefinite auto block passive with Arcade, and that is going to help you in the event that you end up making a mistake and Dazzler is going to hit you in the face. So that part is really nice. Now here you can see I've just forced her into the corner. By charging a heavy attack, you trigger the trap and activate a passive stun, and then I'm just hitting our Dazzler with that SP1, and we're up to 7 poisons. I'm just 8 poisons now, and you can just see the damage start to go really, really well. There, the auto block saves me. So I strike her into the corner, trigger the stun again, and then we activate that SP1. Doesn't even really matter that that it missed her a little bit, but we're just trying to keep her in that corner and keep the debuffs going as much as possible. There, you don't even have to be making contact when you charge your heavy attack. You can just go start charging it, trigger the trap, and passively stun her in there. Ideally, you do want that poison trap to be right in the corner, though, and that way it's going to be most effective. Arcade specials also do create a very nice bit of distance between Dazzler and yourself, so that is going to be beneficial for you. Again, there we go. Heavy, trigger the stuns, get the traps going. We're back up to 8 poison debuffs now, 9 poison debuffs, and the damage is just really, really nice. One really nice thing as well for Arcade is those Arcade tokens are also increasing your armor rating. Every single one that you have, each Arcade token increases the armor rating by 10%. So I mean, like, you have an additional 100% armor versus over what you would have. So Arcade can be very, very tanky for this fight. You can even just block some of the special attacks at times, and it's really not a big deal. And just keep trying to force Dazzler back into that corner as much as possible. Here we go. Trigger the passive stun. Get her in that trap once more. And here, the auto block again saves me. I take some damage, but Dex the last hit of that special. And then we're throwing again another SP1 while she's in the corner. Now we do need to make sure we're triggering the special node where we activate a striker. Luckily, that's one thing that Arcade really likes, is you generally want to activate that striker to force the enemy back into the corner after your SP1s, and then you can just keep on hitting with your specials. If you have the spacing right on the SP1 too, it's also a pretty easy punish to knock down with a heavy. Should be trying to go for that if possible, but we're actually just about to the end of the video because I failed to get that knockdown, and she's going to end up putting me to sleep, and then I die. All right, now we are going to show the fight with my newly rank 5 Solvark, and really, really excited for this one. Solvark is very, very effective for this fight. So the goal is Solvark's battery is going to charge, especially when fighting mutants, whenever they are hitting into his block. Also, whenever you end a combo with a medium, you're going to place a cold snap on Dazzler, and that's also going to be increasing your battery. But what you want to do is build up to your SP2, and then tap block as much as you can during that SP2 to try to build up, to like spend all of your battery to build up your armors, then build up that battery one more time. The easiest way to do that with Solvark is literally just taking all of the hits of the SP1 into block. Look how much that charged up right there. Very, very effective. Barely any damage taken as well. And now we can throw an SP1 let's go ahead and get through that. Ended up, oh man, I took some damage there. It's really not a big deal. Now we throw an SP1, convert a bunch of our armor ups into energize passives, and now we just want to build up to an SP3. We're back up to 100 charges because we just took all of those hits again into block. Throw the SP3 here. You can see she's just taken over 1 hit of damage, or 1 bar of damage, and now she's at 2 1/3 into it. So I mean, we basically did a full health bar's worth of damage in that 1 SP3 and then some. So it's incredibly effective. Still have the energized passives on for a little bit longer so I can build up a little bit more power, but making a few mistakes here. I am still working on my Solvark strategies, and I've gotten better over the course of my last week or so of practicing Solvark, and I'm having a really, really good time. Very, very powerful champion against mutants, and really, really happy to have Solvark as an option for this fight. Now again, we're just trying to build back up those battery charges. We've already got the 15 passive armors, so we ideally want to just throw an SP1 here and get those energized buffs back. Here we go. And you can just rinse and repeat. So you're just trying to build up that battery, get to 10 energizes, get back to your full battery, and let an SP3 rip with Solvark. It's very, very strong. So here, again, we're at 4 bars of health right now, and right after that, we're at 5 and change. So we're right into the challenge node of the fight now, where we want to make sure we're using a striker or knocking down Dazzler with a heavy. And now we're just taking that SP2 full in the block, barely lost any health. Very, very tanky character. There we go, knocked down with the heavy, completing the prompt. Now we're going to want to throw an SP2 in order to get back our armor up passives. Just take those hits again in the block, charge it up. And now we're full up again. Again, since all of those blocked hits we've been taking, she's at 5 bars of health, and we've taken 2% of our health as damage. Very, very, very tanky. There, we only took 8% health as damage while fully blocking that SP2. And we're at 8. Now I end up taking this SP2 full onto the face. I take a lot of damage, but again, we just survive. With many other characters, that would just be the end of the fight. Very, very impressive. And we are coming up to the end of the fight here because I just kind of end up going Nova and try to get another SP2 or SP3 while I still have these energized passives on, but I don't end up actually getting it. Surprisingly, she does not actually SP3 me just right yet there, so I get a chance to get a little bit more damage into her and get partway through 9 health bars this time. But now that is going to be the end of Solvark. And lastly for this video, wanted to show off one of my other rank 5 options for the fight, and that is Howard the Duck. Now, Howard, I think, is very, very fun for this fight. Ends up getting crazy amounts of damage, and again, you don't answer all of the aspects of Dazzler's kit, but you do have a few benefits from bringing in Howard. So first off, because my Howard is awakened, I am getting some of the quack foo benefits that Howard has because he has class advantage. So he's getting extra crit resistance, which is based off of a percentage of my armor rating. I'm getting additional ability accuracy, and if there were any debuffs in this, they would be getting reduced, but no debuffs from Dazzler, or no damaging debuffs anyway. But if we had any other debuffs, we would be getting those the duration of those reduced. And we want to try to get that stun off of cooldown so that we can actually parry stun. The best way that I find to do that is just to re-parry when we don't have to worry about the dazzling dash, and then you're able to get that stun in. You want to be getting those stuns with Howard so that you can get your Furies built up and you can get the armor breaks on Dazzler. You can also, once you have the stun off of cooldown, you can do 2 stuns and heavy combos, basically, and then you're going to have to deal with the Dazzling Dash. There, I accidentally do the parry again when I shouldn't have, and I get pushed to SP3, but not really that big of a deal. You do inflict a very long stun debuff with that SP3, and I don't actually want to push Dazzler to an SP2 when I can avoid it with Howard. Not as it still would be mostly fine, but I just don't want to take as much damage as I would. He's not always as tanky as Solvark when it comes to that, especially because Solvark is regenning half of that energy damage. Now we've got a ISO burst triggering here. I was hoping to kind of capitalize on some of that phase here, and able to get just a tiny bit of it. So now we've got Dazzler up to the 20 armor breaks that you can get, and we just want to parry when we can so we can keep ramping up our Furies and then just go to town. Got another ISO burst going on right now. 60,000 crits there. Very, very nice. There we go. I do have the auto masher going on this fight just because I'm still getting used to using Howard at rank 5. I mean, like, he was a first-time pull for me the other day, and so just figured I'd use the auto masher this time around, just so that way then I have to focus on one less thing during a relatively difficult boss fight. There we go, cleared the prompt, get another heavy to refresh all of my armor breaks, and throw on SP2. Felt pretty good. We'll go ahead and close out this fight here, but I hope that this has been helpful to you for getting through this fight. I'm having a really, really good time with it. Obviously not fully done yet. I think I still have another 15 or 20 health bars that I need to get through before I have it fully finished. And gonna probably continue using Howard and Solvark just because I'm having such a blast with them at rank 5. Please let me know who you're using for this fight. Please let me know if you have any other tips or tricks you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from you. Please like the video if you did. Please subscribe to the channel. And please be on the lookout for more content coming from me in the near future. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.